Okay, QCUC audience. I am so excited. First of all, because this is my very first show with Urban Times Media Network. And I have my really dope friend, Toby Kirkwood. Everybody knows him as Crazy T, DJ Crazy T. He has worked with, when I say everybody in the industry, he has worked with everybody in the industry. And the thing I love about him, which you'll love too, is how, as much as he's worked with everybody in this industry, he is so humble and he continues to uplift and give back. And so we're going to talk to him in detail about all those things that he does. But QCUC, that is Queen City up close with Latisse Howie. And I'm so excited to get started. So without further ado, Mr. Toby Kirkwood, DJ Crazy T Entertainment right here.
Hi, everyone. So I think this is going to be pretty cool.
Okay.
I'm not going to cry.
You might.
No, I'm not going to cry.
I'm going to pull Oprah on you.
Okay. So, but let's do it. Let's talk.
Okay. So the big thing is, I want everybody to know who you are and how you got started, because the way you got started is it's important, because there are so many people who are sitting at their desk trying to figure out, this thing doesn't make me happy,
Right.
or this thing is not doing what I thought it would do in my life. I want to do this crazy thing, right?
Right.
And you have made a living, and a
Off
very
of-
good living,
off
off
of
of a
somebody's
crazy
hobby.
thing. Exactly, off of somebody else's hobby.
Right.
So talk to the people about how you got started.
So, I don't know if you know this story. So I was in the mortgage industry for 14 years.
Yeah?
And everybody knows what happened to the mortgage industry crashed, and I didn't see it coming. Number one, I wasn't prepared for it financially. I hadn't saved any of that money that we was blowing.
Okay.
And number two, I didn't have a plan. So going from being a mortgage broker to working for mortgage companies with customer service, I'm working in cubicles and having to be at work at 8 o'clock in the morning. Like, they were serious. They wanted you there to start.
He said they were serious.
I didn't know they were serious. 8 o'clock every morning. And I came from a world where I didn't work on Fridays and I never had a meeting before 10.
Oh, wow.
So, and I was making good money.
Yeah.
So all of that went away and I was just miserable. You making $29,000 a year. You having financial trouble because I didn't live a $29,000 life with my family.
Right.
So I'm not making any money. They gave you little bonuses or little commission, but you're not making no money. You're not making $40,000.
Right.
And that was just a huge culture shock. On top of that, I was miserable. I hated going to work.
Right.
And I didn't have any release, anything for me. I had just retired from playing semi-pro football.
Okay.
And I was bored.
Right.
So I'm miserable every day. I got to get up and go to this job that I hate. And I'm bored. And so I just felt like I didn't have any life. So I called a friend of mine who was a DJ. And I said, hey, man, when you're going out to DJ these parties, man, let me know. I want to come hang out with you. And I was looking for a legal excuse to get out of the house.
This man said illegal.
Yeah, so I didn't have to argue.
Right.
So he said, man, I have a party this Friday. And I said, can I come? And he said, yes. So I went and hung out with him. And you know how I am. I'm a helpful person. I started helping him with his equipment. I wasn't just going to stand around. So I'm helping him unload his truck. And the next thing you know, within a couple of weeks, he started paying me to unload his truck with his equipment and set up his equipment. So now I'm learning how to set up this equipment. And really, for me, it was just like I got this reason to get out of the house. And I started working with him. And the next thing you know, he's paying me to get on the mic while he's DJing. And I'm hyping up the party, and I'm having a ball.
Yeah.
And they paying me for it. Now, I didn't know it wasn't no money.
Right.
But it was extra money.
Right.
So then the next thing you know, he would book 2 parties. And he would send me to go do one. He bought some equipment. And then I would go do another one. So, and I wasn't making no money. He was charging $250.
Right.
I'll go do a party. He paid me $150. But it was consistent. Like, I was doing 4 parties a week. A month. 4 parties a month.
Okay.
But I knew real DJs who wasn't working that often.
Okay.
And so I was happy.
Yeah.
This was a hobby that and I thought it was good money. I got better than he did. I started taking my corporate America side, which I was still working this job that I hate, and like trying to implement it in this DJing. Like, we can really turn this into a business, and he didn't see it that way.
Right.
And he was a little crooked.
Okay.
So people were calling him like, "Hey, that DJ I saw the other night." I don't even think I had a DJ name to begin with, but ultimately I started using Crazy T because that was my old rap name when I was 7 years old.
Okay, we're going to talk about the old rap life, the 7-year-old rapper, gangster rap.
But he would tell them that I wasn't available if he didn't have 2 parties.
Oh.
Or he would tell them that I went out of town for a funeral, or I got married. I think I got married 7 times while I was working with him. He would just keep telling people that I got married this weekend, so he came to do the party.
Yeah.
Just so he didn't have to pay me more to go do the party
Okay.
if he didn't have 2 parties on that same day.
Okay.
And it got to a point where I couldn't do that anymore. He had booked a wedding, and I went and did the wedding for him. When I got to the wedding, because he didn't plan, so it's not like I got to run a show before the wedding. When I got to the wedding, they were showing me all this overtime that I had to do, and they were telling me how I'm not going to get out of here till like 11 o'clock. But I was having a fight party at my house that night.
Okay.
So I'm not going to be here
Right.
at 11 o'clock. So
Right.
I called him, and I was like, "Hey, you told me this wedding was over at 8. And he was like, "Oh, no, man, da-da-da-da-da. And you're not paying me for overtime?"
Right.
And we didn't have no contract or anything. And so I was very upset. I gave the people what they wanted. It was a great wedding. But when I got to my fight party at my house, he was already there. He beat me to my fight party.
Wow.
And so that was it. I couldn't do this anymore.
Yeah.
But I wanted to DJ. I loved it. But I was literally afraid. That was probably the first time I was really scared of something in my life.
Yeah.
I was afraid to leave him and branch out for my own, because 4 gigs a month was pretty attractive back then.
Yeah.
And and I'm knowing DJs that's DJing once a year. Or,
Right.
So
right. Now you're doing 4 gigs a day.
right. And so
Right.
I don't know if I should tell this part of the story to everybody in Charlotte, but one day he went to court. He went out the back door instead of the front door to the courtroom. And his wife called and said, he's not going to be available this weekend to DJ these events. Can y'all, and it was another guy that was DJing with him by that time. It became 3 of us. Can y'all cover these events for him this weekend while he's not available?
Right.
And we said, yeah, we'll do it. And we went to his house and picked up his equipment and got his hard drive with his music. He had 65,000 songs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we made 2 copies of all of that music.
Yeah.
So we had a start. We had a foundation, 65,000 songs, which is where my fear came from. Not having songs, not having gigs, and not having equipment. Well, you can buy equipment. Craigslist, I went and got me some speakers. American Music Supply, I went and got something that I can make monthly installments on. And here we are. That's how I got started. But I had to make a decision that I hated this job and I'm not going to continue to do it. So once I got that equipment and I got started, I came up with a plan to leave my job. Like, I'm not going to do this very much longer.
Wow.
And so I was gone. I said, as long as I'm doing, 2 or 3 gigs a week, I can cover my expenses.
Okay.
Even at a minimal price, which it was back then. And that's what I set up to do. And I just said, if I'm working for these people in corporate America and they have an advertising department and they have marketing, they have people that do different tasks every day. That's
Right.
what these people are doing. They're going to go do a task for somebody else every day. Then I need to take these same tasks and apply them to my own business.
Absolutely.
So I started marketing for myself, had a website built and updating the website, and then all the other little things that I do to make the phone ring,
Right.
so that I can get these gigs. And so that's what I did. I said, I'm not 8 o'clock every morning.
Look, so he's talking about the 8 o'clock that is required, and I feel a little guilty because I know this guy. And so usually, if I want to call him, I will need to wait
Yeah, I don't get up in the morning.
until around noonish. But he is probably the hardest working man that I know in terms of what he does. It is phenomenal.
Once my day starts, it doesn't stop.
Right.
So if it's 2, 3 in the morning before my day stops,
Mm-hmm.
even if if I start a day at 9 in the morning, today's gig, I had to be there. It started at 9:30 this morning.
Right.
So if I have to be somewhere 8:30 in the morning, I'm still probably not going to lay down tonight till 3, 4 in the morning. I got a lot of stuff to do.
Right.
So once I get started, I don't stop. I'm going to work hard, but I'm not going to start at early for no reason. Like, I just don't get up in the morning.
And when I tell you that he gives you the party, I have never seen a person. I can be at an event or at a party, and I was in Virginia or something one time, and I was at a party, and the DJ was horrible, and I'm texting T like, "Oh my God, you need to be here." But I do realize I am not the only person who does that.
I get that. People who follow or support me are spoiled by me.
Yeah.
And I get that a lot. I get phone calls like, "Oh man, why wasn't you the DJ at?" I'm like, "Well, I didn't know about it."
Right.
I get a lot of work that way too, because I'll get referrals from someone who was at one of those types of events or a party or something. They're like, "Listen, next time you need to call Crazy T." And so, I'm flattered by that, but I mean, I get it a lot, like phone calls from the party, like, "Yo, this DJ is terrible. What are you doing?"
I've done it. I'm like, dude, really? Or text you. Are you serious? This is what he's doing right now, He doesn't know how to transition his music. Matter of fact, I know more about music transitions because of this guy right here, seriously. But QC, we will be right back with some more DJ Crazy T and some more QCUC. Thank you so much for rocking with me and following me to this new network. I'm so excited. We're going to have a lot to talk about. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back, QCUC audience. This is Latice, your host. This is my amazing friend and true supporter. Like, I have a lot of people who are my associates. I have very few people that I can really say they're my friend. And so I'm really privileged to be able to do this interview with somebody I consider to be a friend. And this guy right here, he's one of the most genuine individuals I've ever run across. If he can help you do something, he will absolutely help you do it. But he is also one of the most real deal, Holyfield, uncut brothers you want to meet. Now, that's just real. But I appreciate that about him and our friendship. So I think so I want to just put that out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember one night I was doing an event, Empire.
Yes.
That Empire watch party.
Yes.
And Latice, award-winning author Latice, had literally, I think it was your first book.
It was actually I was on book 2.
Okay.
But yeah.
And so, so Latice is like, "I heard you're doing that event tonight." And I was like, "Yeah, come through." And first of all, by the time I got there, the lions wrapped around the building. This is the first season of Empire, and it was the season finale. And Hakeem and Jamal were there. So everybody in Charlotte was there.
Absolutely.
And Latice is like, "Well, I just want to give my book to them." And I'm like, "Okay, we'll make it happen."
Yeah, just come.
And I was like, "Okay, just come. We'll make it happen. I promise you'll make it happen." We get there and it's 2,000 people there.
At least.
And I don't know if I texted you or called you. I know it's loud in the club, and I was like, "You need to be in this spot right now."
Yeah, you text me. And I was like, okay. Now, mind you, it literally is 2,000 people in there. And 1,500 of those women are there to see Hakeem, okay? And so I had to fight through the crowd.
Yeah, that's what I said. I don't know what you need to do. I didn't know where you were
I
at
was
in the building.
throwing bows. Do you understand? Because he told me to be there in that spot, and I got to the spot, and then what happened?
Took her right up to Jesse and Hakeem. Hakeem took a picture with you?
Yep, both
I'm
of
saying
them.
Hakeem like that's his real
Yeah,
name.
yeah. Well, they both were very gracious. Jussie Smollett was very unsure, I think, of his celebrity at that time, so he was afraid to hold the book. But the other young man, he held the book. He was really gracious. It was great. But those types of things for an up-and-coming author at that point, those are priceless because you have these major people holding on to something that has come out of this head of mine. And so when I tell you that it was a phenomenal experience, number one, because the one thing that he has taught me is act like you are supposed to be there.
Act like you're supposed
and they
to be
will
there.
not even know the difference. And that's exactly what he's done. So what I want people to know, first of all, talk about some of the amazing people you've worked with.
Okay.
And then it's going to be really hard for you to narrow it down, but who was the most pleasurable and who was the person that you were, because you're never in awe.
So that's actually an easier question than you think.
Okay.
I try to do a great job about not being starstruck.
Okay.
But many of the people that I've worked with are people that I was fans of
Right.
growing up. I grew up with them. So I have found myself in a position like, wow, this is really happening.
Right.
But I've been able to fight it back. I've been able to hold it back so that I'm not acting like a fan or acting
Right.
starstruck or something like that. So let's see. There's some tour dates with New Edition. Johnny Gills actually hired me to help promote his new album when he did a solo album, and I was his official after party tour DJ for Johnny Gill.
Wow.
So Johnny Gill does an after party no matter what city. I'm coming in to DJ that event. For that, they allowed me to host those New Edition concerts as well. So I'm doing double duty, getting double work.
Yeah.
And so it helped me to build a brand because a lot of people got to notice me in that. So that was cool. New Edition was very cool. All 6 members.
Yeah.
Cool. Bobby Brown has always been my favorite.
Y'all, I will say wonder why.
So let's see. I mean, I've done, one-off events like with R. Kelly, with Mary J. Blige. I did Mary J. Blige's birthday. That was cool. I DJ'd Jay-Z after party.
Yes.
Did not get to meet Jay-Z.
Okay.
Jay-Z is actually, and it's in my contract, a promoter hiring me, I need to be able to take a picture with the celebrity. I never got a picture with Jay-Z.
Oh, wow.
When they say it's 19 people you got to go through,
Yeah.
it's
Fort
19
Knox.
people you got to go through.
Yeah.
So it was still cool. It was cool. I do an event every year with the Tim Tebow Foundation.
Yes. Talk about that because at the top of the show, we talked about the giving back that you do. And, not to say that this event that he DJs is for free, that's not the case. But the fact that you give back to an organization in such a way, and talk about how you can be a DJ for a church. Who does that? So this guy DJs at church. So let's talk about those two things.
So the Tim Tebow Foundation is like probably one of the coolest events that I've ever been able to be a part of, and I've done it for three or 4 years now.
Okay.
It's called Night to Shine, and it's a prom for special needs people.
Yes.
And the concept is like so dope. It's like, listen, they have special needs, and they're,
But they are people just like
and
we
they
are.
don't get the same opportunities.
Right.
So this gives them everything. Like everybody rides in the limo. And it's dope. Like you literally, however you get there, get out of your car and get in the limo and ride back
That is nice.
to the building. So that's dope. So everybody rides in the limo, hair, makeup for the ladies, manicures, everything. And everybody gets a crown or a tiara or whatever, and they're all dressed up. And so I've been able to be a part of that event, and it's like crazy. You got 2,000 people and they'll dance to whatever you play.
Right.
And so, it's a lot of fun. Tim Tebow was actually at a couple of the events. So it was just like really, really cool. Now, me, if the celebrities in the room, they got to get down too.
Yeah.
So the first Tim Tebow was there, and he wanted to just come in and say thank you. He literally came to the event and left and got on a plane because it happens the same night all over the world. I think it happens like in 110 places, a couple different countries. So like he gets to go to 2 cities a year. So he literally left, jumped on a plane, and flew out west back in time or whatever so that he can go to another event. But you couldn't get in and out that quick with me.
Right.
He had just been on Celebrity Lip Sync Battle or whatever it's
wow.
called.
Okay.
I made him do both of those songs. And so like the people went crazy, and it's those moments that make your job worth everything. Anything I got to deal with, those moments make it special. So that's a dope event.
Yeah.
That event is hosted locally by Elevation Church, and they hired me for a lot of events.
Yeah. You have a partner in crime that does everything with you.
Right. And matter of fact, we did an event today that we were hired by Elevation for that same thing. So I DJ a lot of events for Elevation, and then you talk about giving back. I DJ at my church, which is Have Life.
Have life. Hey.
So I DJ at my church. Now, every event I do at my church, I do for free.
Yeah.
I never charge them for anything at the church.
Well, it's really hard to charge the Lord, right?
Yeah, well, no. No. He pays at other churches.
He expects. But your home church, I get it.
It's a part of my sacrifice.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So I pay my tithes and my offering, but it's an additional offering.
Yes.
And I think my pastor understands and respects that. If I'm doing an event that I would normally charge someone $500 or $600 for, and I did it for you for free,
yes,
that's a gift of my time. So it's pretty cool. And a lot of churches, we do church differently. We're not so
different environment.
We come in and DJ. Now we playing Christian or gospel or something like that, but we turn up.
Yeah, they ain't playing. Ain't nobody playing Cardi B at church. Let's just be clear. Okay.
No, not that. But we definitely turn up and have a good time. And so those events, those are really special to me. My favorite celebrity is actually probably Bobby Brown. Like,
yes.
From the minute I met any of those guys in New Edition, for the first time I met Johnny Gill, he treated me like I was there for business.
Right.
And he was super cool. He's always been super cool. When I got to the rest of the guys, I met them all in the same night. They treated me like I grew up in the projects in Boston.
Wow.
With them.
Yeah.
And they've all been super cool.
And so when I say it's no wonder, and he's not a bad boy like Bobby Brown. No, he's not that guy. But it is his prerogative, and I respect him in the sense that it's his prerogative to do this thing that he loves every single day. It's his prerogative to make the decision that I'm going to do this so I can be this amazing family man and father. We're going to talk about that too when we come back. But just to be able to write your own story and live your own life by your terms. That's the Bobby Brown moment that I'm referring to, not the bad boy.
You got everybody there thinking of that.
They was like, what's she about to say? And in true up close fashion, because we are going to keep that part of up close. Be thinking about, I'm going to be asking you an up close question in just a second, so you don't know what it is either, so you're just going to have to sweat it out.
You remember the rules at the beginning. I'm not going to cry.
Okay.
So whatever it is, I'm ready to get up close.
Okay, well, QCUC, we will be right back with more DJ Crazy T. Right. So QCUC, we are back with more DJ Crazy T, your host Latisse Howie.
Award-winning author,
Latisse Howie.
Don't forget that part.
You know, you guys who have been following me, you know that I've written, some books and they've done all right.
I've written some books like everybody has written a book. That's not normal.
Right.
So no, award-winning.
Well, I appreciate you.
Yes.
And let me say this, y'all, even when I was not so award-winning, on my first week of being an author, I go to this event and he is repping me on the mic like I have won like I have won a Pulitzer, okay? And he has and I believe that KC was there that night.
Oh, was that then? Okay.
Yes, it was at
Casey
Nancy
from
Tavern.
Jodeci.
And
it was a Tuesday night
Yep,
karaoke for CIAA week.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And he was repping me, y'all, to the point where, KC was like, who is this? I need to know her.
Right.
So he was taking these pictures with me okay, I need to know this girl.
Right.
Truthfully, he has done this for me from that point on. Really, I say to him a lot, he is so responsible, for a lot of the success that I've experienced just because of that reason. Because I don't care what stage he's on. If he has the ability to shout me out, he is going to shout me out. And I have to say, people like that, those are your ride or die folks.
I'm ride or die, and I show love to those who
love
always
on me.
Love
That's
me.
right.
Exactly.
That's right.
So thank you.
Well, listen, I want to talk about we haven't talked about Harvest Center.
Okay.
How you give back to that
Okay.
all the time. I want to talk about your up close as a father and husband and all the groupies
Right.
that come along with that DJ life. That's his up close question. So you can at least
Okay.
be thinking about it. But seriously, you are an amazing father.
I try.
I love your wife, amazing husband. I just feel like I'm a part of y'all's family when I'm around,
You are part of our
because
family.
your wife really does show me great love, But how hard is that, to be, because everybody loves a DJ.
So-
all the girls in their scantily clad clothes.
That part's not actually as difficult as more so just the time and being there.
Right,
That's
right.
actually the most difficult part is being there.
Right.
So I take full advantage of all of my opportunities at home.
Right.
My son's schedule is busier than mine.
Yes.
Between football and basketball and whatever.
Yeah.
So, being there is the hardest part. My wife hates, that when there's a holiday, people want a DJ. People
Right.
want to celebrate.
Right.
So they hire a DJ for their celebrations, which means you're not with your family
Yeah.
during those celebrations.
Right.
So I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm evolving. The last 2 years, I have not taken a gig on our anniversary.
Beautiful.
Yeah, don't say it like it was just a simple thought. We went to Vegas last year for our anniversary. We renewed our vows 10 years at that time, so it's 11 now. I had gigs lined up for Vegas. While I'm gonna be out here a week or 5 days, whatever we were out there, I'm gonna DJ while I'm out here.
Yeah.
And I ended up turning those down. And that made her really, really happy because, there was a point in time where I was always going to work.
Right. If you were going to be in the city, you were going to be making money while you were out there.
Somebody else need to pay for this trip.
Yeah.
So I'm getting better at that. I still can't seem to get her birthday off. And I know
wow.
she's unhappy about it. And it makes it tough because she gets to the point where she doesn't want to mention it, but I know. So like this year for her birthday, and her birthday fell on Monday. I DJ'd Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yeah.
I just couldn't.
Yeah.
I say that I couldn't. She says it as easy as I can, but I have to be mindful of our income as well. I mean, the bills got to get paid.
Of course.
And then sometimes, as much as I control my schedule, I don't have any control.
Right.
But I can see a calendar, and I can see, there might not be a lot of gigs towards the end of this month. I need to take these middle of the month gigs. to make sure that we're covering all of our expense.
Yeah.
So that's the toughest part. The toughest part is not being around her when you're around, or sending her out of town for his basketball games
Yeah.
by herself when I'm not there. And I've flown in for one game. I think my son definitely appreciates and respects that. Like this upcoming weekend, they're going to leave for a tournament that I'm going to miss all day Saturday, but I will be there on Sunday. I'm just going to get up early Sunday morning and drive, to be there. That is the toughest part. As far as the groupies are concerned, she don't worry about that stuff.
Exactly.
That has to come with trust.
And that has to come from you.
That has to come from me.
That's right.
But I remember, like, one of my early CIAAs, we were at a Sweet. This is when Sweet was like the most poppin' new club.
Yeah.
And I DJ'd. It was like Lil Wayne and Bow Wow or something like that. And so, I brought my crew with me, my sister, my wife, and there were just people like bum rushing to get past them. And she, like, literally, I watched her in those situations, and from that moment on, I just knew, like, she just literally, it doesn't bother her. Like, she don't pay that no attention.
Right.
So there's CIAAs where, she's right there, right up front for parties, and she doesn't come. When I go to work, it's work.
Right.
So she don't come to work with me, but she will come support, and there's certain parties that she's going to be at. But she doesn't feed into any of that. She don't pay it no attention.
Right.
I can't remember people. So people come up to me like they know me, and sometimes I don't even know her, and she don't pay it no attention.
Right.
That comes with trust, and it's built over time.
Of course. Because I always say it is the man who makes you feel safe in the relationship. And I think that's a responsibility that you guys have, that, you have to do that, but you're right, it builds over time.
Yeah, and it's not easy, because
Right.
I'm sure it comes with a certain level. Now, earlier in my career, it's when I thought it was important to be in clubs. That's what DJs still think that that's the pinnacle. Like,
Right.
I'm in this club, I made it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Corporate gigs is where it is.
Listen, I do corporate, I do weddings, I travel, I do celebrity. I don't want to say I no longer, because they're in the right situation. You might catch me in a club in Charlotte. But for the most part, I'm not in the clubs, and that's for several reasons. The first reason is how tough it was on her. You leave at 7:30 to be there at 8 o'clock to set up, to start at 9, to leave, to end at 3, to tear down. It's 4. Now you're waiting to get paid. You don't get home till 5 in the morning. You trying to do that 3-4 times a week, because you got to stay busy to get money. And that was early on frustrating for her, and we went through some things, probably because of that. She went from being married to somebody in corporate America to being married to a DJ. She ain't asked for that.
Right.
So it was tough early, but when I figured it out, I got some things together and realized I don't have to be in these clubs.
Right.
For that reason, but more importantly, ain't no money in these clubs.
Right.
And so that's the thing. You're at a club from 8 to 3 or 4 in the morning, and in Charlotte, I know these DJs want to lie to you, but they getting between $150 and $300.
Right.
For the whole night.
Yeah.
And I finally figured it out. It's like, why do I have to do that when earlier that afternoon I did a wedding? I was there 4 hours and I made, your month.
Yeah. Right.
So,
well, the thing is, QC audience, I'm telling you, the transparency that you see right here when he was talking about the difficulty in what it takes to do that, but really being honest about, I got to figure out how to take her birthday off. Those are the real life situations that I want people to understand when we're talking to people like Crazy T.
So Mother's Day is, I don't know when this is going to air, but Mother's Day is next weekend.
Right.
So I have the DJ. I've done this event on Mother's Day for the last 4 years. And when you have those kind of repeat clients, it's just really hard to turn your back on them. And then some of my clients won't accept the DJs that are on my staff.
Of course. Yeah.
Because they want me. They hired me. This is who they got into. And now, now you have a staff. Well, I don't know them. I don't want
Right.
them.
I want you.
So, and this particular client that does Mother's Day books me 5 times every year.
Yeah.
For small events or big events.
Right.
And so, but for Mother's Day this year, my wife is going to bring her mother to the event
Nice.
as her mother coming to an event, and it's a brunch.
Yes.
But so now I guess I actually get to spend Mother's Day. After we leave church, it's I get to still spend time with her for Mother's Day because I've been doing this event for a few years.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so when I can figure things out like that, it makes it a little bit better. I know one time last year I had an event. I was in Atlanta DJing for Delta. And got a phone call from USA Track and Field while I was in Atlanta. So I'm in Atlanta 5 days DJing for Delta. USA Track and Field wants me to be in Sacramento 2 weeks later for 8 days.
Wow.
And I had been on the road so much that year, And so I called my wife. I called my little brother. Me and my family are close. So me, my brother, and my sister, we talk about everything. So I called my little brother and I was like, all right, well, how am I going to get this check? So on Friday, I'm going to DJ during the day. And then Saturday, I'm going to DJ during the day. So we got Friday evening, Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening. We'll stay on Monday all day. And then we flew from California to New York and dropped my son off in New York. And then she and I came back to North Carolina. And that was like the smartest thing I ever done. I don't know if it was my idea or my brother's idea, but between the two of us, it was the smartest, that was just smart. Because you really about to be gone 8 days DJing, and she's at home taking care of the house by herself.
Right.
So that was, as I'm learning to do those kind of things, it makes it better. It makes it much, much better.
And it makes you a much better husband and father and all of those things. Well, and it's clear. It shows in your everyday walk. So up close, we're going to talk a little bit more to Mr. DJ Crazy T. When we come back, I want him to tell you everywhere you can contact him and what's coming up next for you.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
All right, we'll be right back. All right, QCUC, we are back with more DJ Crazy T. He's going to tell you right now how you can get in contact with him and what we can expect for DJ Crazy T Entertainment.
So, of course, all my social media, Instagram, I am DJ Crazy T. Twitter and Facebook is at DJ Crazy T. Crazy is always spelled with a K. You can reach me for bookings. You can call 424-BE-CRAZY. That's 424-235-7299. And visit my website. I've got a new launch for a website coming out in a week.
Very nice.
So my current website is www.djcrazyt.net. But the IamDJCrazyT.com site will be launched on May 10th.
Very nice. Very nice.
So I'm excited about that.
What direction can we expect your company to go into?
So right now, people tell me all the time that I'm in my own lane, like I'm in a lane of my own. And so what that means to me is that there's no one for you to compare me to.
Right.
That's a problem because if you have no one to compare me to, then my price point is off.
Right. Okay.
If you have no one to compare me to, then my expectations, what you expect of me, is off. So you have some bigger companies that, and some of them even charge double what I charge. Many, all of them don't look like me.
Right.
None of them look like me.
Okay.
The DJs that do look like me, most of them charge substantially less.
Okay.
Also, most of them are not very professional. Part-time people give you part-time work.
Right.
It's not serious to them, and I get it. It's a hobby.
It's a hobby.
But if I'm in this lane by myself, you're not comparing me to the people that are above me, or those ones that don't look like me that charge more. You compare me down to the people that look like me, and then you don't want to pay more because somebody will do it for $300.
Right.
You know, I got a cousin that got an iPod, you know, and so because I'm getting that, what I'm doing is I'm trying to help some DJs get out of from down here to get into this lane with me. You know, of course, I've got the DJs that work for me. So now, you know, we'll book up to 5 events at one time on any given date.
Okay.
And those guys are troopers. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I call them, you know, and it took a while to get the right guys. And they're not, and I'm not the best DJ. But, you know, we follow a system, and we do what works, and we run a business.
Right.
We don't treat it like a hobby. We show up an hour early. And so I want to continue to bring those guys up. Right now, it's like I've got the name, but, you know, they're doing the work. I want to bring
Right.
them up, and they're great DJs. And so I'm going to continue to build them up so that I can spend more time out of town doing bigger gigs.
Yes.
And they'll have everything handled right here in town. And then got a new app that we're working on.
Very nice.
And we got to hold those details. I can't tell you anything about that yet.
Okay.
But just a lot of bigger and better things to continue to grow for the future.
Perfect. Well, guys, this is QCUC.
Right.
Queen City up close with
very first
Latif
guest.
Talley.
The very first guest.
And I'm so excited about that. Again, thank you guys for rocking with me, coming with me to this new network. It is phenomenal, and I am excited about all the great things that we're going to talk about and the things coming up. Where can they find you one more time?
So you can get me on Instagram. I am DJ Crazy T. Crazy is always spelled with a K. Facebook and Twitter is DJ Crazy T. Crazy is always spelled with a K. The website, www.djcrazyt.net, or the new website coming out, IamDJCrazyT.com. Crazy is always spelled with a K, or you can call me at 424-BE-CRAZY.
All right, new website, May 10th. This is your guy, DJ Crazy T, my friend to the end. Thank you so much.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate you. We'll be seeing you very soon. QCUC audience, we're out.